Oh, let me ask you, what kind of planning do you like? How would you describe the kind of planning that you're expecting from a man to go on this date?
When we let's call it the first date.
Yeah, the first date.
You meet a guy in grocery shopping. That's the best place to meet a girl. Guys, if you want to pick up a
I don't
girl,
think
go
I've
to the
ever
grocery
met
store.
a guy
At the grocery store?
grocery
That's why it's the best place, because you never met a guy yet.
No.
Otherwise, you'd be taken. Otherwise, you'd be taken by now. The best guys are at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Okay.
I would just play. Yeah, but so how would y'all go with a first date? How would y'all go, like he said, with the man planning out the first date? How would y'all want it to
Just
go?
tell me what time to be ready.
What time to be ready?
Just tell me what time to be ready.
Kind of what to wear, like upscale,
Yeah.
mid-scale.
I'll be like,
Do you like a man
idea?
to tell you what to wear?
absolutely.
Okay,
That is
that's
a
good.
grown ass man.
That's one thing that a lot of dudes miss out on.
See? But you say dudes, but it's women. You might be the first girl that said, "Yeah, tell me what to wear." Other girls are like, "Don't tell me what to wear."
No, tell me if we're
That
going
is true.
somewhere casual. Tell me if we're going up somewhere upscale. Because the last thing I wanted, I mean, obviously, the last thing I want to do is show up in like casual wear and we're
Yeah.
going to like somewhere nice,
Yeah, like
right?
Nick and Sam's or something
But
like that.
if that's not being communicated, I'm gonna kind of dress for whatever, but it be appropriate, right?
I still think first impression is important, though. I think it should always look the
Well,
best.
this is the first
Absolutely.
date though, so it's not really the first impression. But I guess it
In
kinda
person, it is, yeah, because it's the first time
No,
you're
we're saying
meeting,
this is
right?
the first date. No, it could be like
Oh, if you're
we
meeting
just-
in
we're
person
putting
and
this
all that.
scenario that you met her at the grocery store.
Yeah.
So
You know what? Someone has approached me at the
was
grocery
he
store.
cute?
No.
Oh,
No.
there you go. There you go.
No, and I was just being polite, but
You should have just not been polite and just gave it to
well,
him.
no,
straight
I'm
up.
very polite. Like, I'm not gonna be ugly to someone
Okay, I get
who
you.
is
Yeah,
shooting their shot, right? That's
rude.
rude. That's not my. That's not the energy I want to put out into the world, you know. So he was very polite, and I was being polite back, but it just wasn't it. And I'll politely say like, sorry, I'm just not interested. Well, if he's like, do you have a husband? Do you have a man? No, but I appreciate you giving me a compliment. That's nice, but it's just not gonna happen, babe.
Yeah.
You know.
You can't say babe to him though, because now he's like, I still got a chance.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah.
cannot
I'll let
say
you.
at the
I'll let
age
you.
right-
Just marinate on that chance.
That's not
Yeah.
good, but it's fine. Okay. What do you say to that?
Like she said, the time. Where are we going? Like an idea. You don't have to like specifically say where, but just an idea. And yeah, I mean, simple details.
But
Doesn't
as
matter.
detailed as he can be, right?
Yes.
Because I would actually say that women find it much more attractive if a man plans it out to detail. You know, like look,
time,
be ready at this time.
location.
Now, this kind of leads me into: do you rather just meet him there, or will you allow him to pick you up, or how would you feel about it? About that?
If I don't know him and it's the first time, I'll probably meet you there.
Meet you there, yeah.
Just off of past experiences, I'll more than likely meet you there. But if we've been talking and the vibe is good, ooh, I don't know. I mean, my sons live with me, so it's, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, but more than likely, I'll meet you there
Yeah.
just for my own safety.
Okay.
I would say pick up.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, if I know you, like,
Yeah.
you know, we've been talking, like, everything's okay, then yeah. But other than that, I would be like, no, you can just meet me up here. Or, yeah.
What do you prefer, bro?
I actually prefer to pick them up, and I'll tell you why, right? Because to your point, right? If we've been talking, we've been building up that attraction, right? If the attraction's there and you feel comfortable with me and you trust me enough to say, yeah, I'll allow you to pick me up, right? The reason I say that is because I know what it's going to lead to, in the sense that we're not only are we going out to dinner, but we're having drinks. Now, I'd feel a lot better knowing that I'm taking you home and you're safe, rather than you going on your own in your car and driving under the influence like that.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the times women do catch, you know, they'll take an Uber or whatever the case
Right.
is. I understand that, but I haven't had that scenario where it's like, no, I'll just meet you there. I think it's because of, again, building the attraction more than anything. So
Real quick,
Yeah.
guys, someone said in the chat, they were like, it's not a date if you don't pick her up. What do y'all think?
very true. I think so. I think so. Yeah.
That I don't know. That I would say I'm kind of on the opposite side of.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on her side where I'm okay with her saying, like, let's just meet there. Because for me, on my end, once the vibe is so good, once we meet there, that's when, as a man, I'm already thinking, what's next after this?
Second date?
Well, not even second date.
Well,
I'm
no,
thinking,
second date. I was gonna say you could, if it's good, you could pick
Then
me
you
up,
pick me
right?
up, yeah.
Because the last thing I want is this crazy man to know where I live.
And
Well,
but that's
that's
like-
but that
Because
You gotta
you don't
catch
know,
that
you
before.
don't
You say
know
that.
somebody.
You
You don't
say
know
that.
somebody until you're actually in their presence, you drinking, and then you don't really then you get the real vibe, right? Then you
Yeah.
really
well,
kinda
at
see
that
who
point,
they
I mean,
are.
you can pull away and you can get an Uber. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
you
But
know.
now this person knows where you live. I think it just really depends
I
on the
get it, I get
person.
it.
It's a really
Absolutely.
of a preference thing. But second date, if it's good, all right, come pick me up.
Yeah, I would only say that way. Just meet me there, just because from my end, I know we're completely different. That's why it's good. On my end, I would want to, like, let's say we got to eat. All right, what's next after eat? Let's go chill, have more communication. Okay, if you say yes to that after eating, that lets me know you're getting comfortable. Once
Yeah.
I know you're getting comfortable, I know most likely the second date is to come. Now I know on the second date, I'm most likely going to be able to pick you up, because now you realize, okay, he's a lot more trustworthy. He's not crazy. This dude's chilling. All right, cool. I can see what's going after this. But that's why I would say maybe, give them that cushion of comfortability on the first date of like, hey, let's just meet there. Because if you don't like it, what if you don't like it? What if you're on a date, bro, and she just starts telling you, the truth.
I'll get
Yo,
her an
I got
Uber.
this, I got that, I got that. No, what
I'll
I'm
get her
saying
an Uber,
is
send her
you're gonna
home.
be like, yo, I'm glad we drove separately, because now I can just leave and get out of this situation.
I'll still get her an Uber and send her home. Yeah,
That's why
let's
you
stay
make
out.
like a couple phone calls before. I think that's important.
Like, no,
Look,
what are you talking
all right,
about?
let's go back into Brian David's question.